Well, did anybody else get a fucking heart attack watching that game? Holy shit. The Seattle Seahawks win 40-34 in overtime at home in CenturyLink Field. Funny enough, boys and girls, I went to Atlanta last week where I watched the Seattle Seahawks kind of fart the result out in the second half. And this game, it was just, there's a lot of fun things to talk about. Let's just say that shit. Seattle came out just giving up huge yards, just from the get-go. Okay? Jameis Winston. To be fair, Jameis Winston looked fantastic today. Against our defense, he looked like a regular Drew Brees. Okay? That's how bland our defense was. And yeah, it sounds like I'm kind of backhand complimenting, Jameis Winston. But the reality is, hey, look at the names we got on that defense right now. Jaron Reed, Jadeveon Clowney, Ziggy Ansah, Michael Kendricks, KJ Wright, Bobby Wagner. Yet, the pass rush is like, one of the most frustrating aspects about our fucking defense. And then you have the secondary. Holy shit. Getting tortured all game. Of course, Tampa Bay strikes first with the rushing touchdown by Ronald Jones. And that's your opening drive, ladies and gentlemen. That's your opening drive. And thankfully, Seattle's able to answer back, the magic of Russell Wilson to Tyler Lockett, tying that up 7-7 in the first quarter. But, again, you have these back-to-back third and outs, but ultimately you have the Seattle defense just giving up easy yards. I mean, listen, I know all the analytics nerds, all the stats people, all the football experts that everybody so claims to be will tell me all this shit like, dude, it doesn't fucking work like that. You're a fucking idiot. Fuck you. I'm like, yeah, well, go fuck me then. Because what I saw in that defense today was just, okay, cool, we're going to just let Mike Evans just get a little bit of space between us. You know what happens if you give Mike Evans an inch of a yard, like an inch of space? An inch of a yard, yeah, that makes fucking sense. Because putting nobody on Mike Evans makes sense too, right? Right, Ken? Right, Pete? Is that right? Hypothetical questions, because the bottom line is in that first quarter, Seattle concedes another point, and it's a passing touchdown to Perriman, and a solid touchdown. I can't really complain about it. It's one of those things where you just have to look at the other squad and think, man, you guys are embarrassing us in our own home. I have no excuse for this shit. I don't. And what's more frustrating throughout this entire game is how bad our kicker was. Jason Myers, former Pro Bowler. Somehow, you come back to Seattle, you have no kicking legs. That's wonderful. There are times where I genuinely miss Hauschka. Yeah, I miss Hauschka. From Blair Walsh to Sebastian Janikowski. And listen, I'm sure Jason Myers will get better, but holy fuck, he was missing ample opportunities today. And he could have easily helped us put 3 points on the board to make the game 10-14, a little bit more reachable. But here we go again. Tampa Bay getting prime field position, getting ready to go. And it's Mike Evans. This guy was an animal today. I mean, I got nothing but admiration and respect for Mike Evans. This guy is unbelievable. He might be one of the top 5 wide receiver talents in the league. I mean, some will argue top 3. I know that. I know people will say that. But let's just put it at top 5. Right? Put it at top 5 because that's already an immense honor. It really is. I mean, Mike Evans is a fantastic receiver. And again, credit to Jameis Winston. He played amazingly today. I mean, he was making smart throws. He was throwing away the ball when necessary. And this is the magic of Bruce Arians. Bruce Arians does this in Seattle. He comes to CenturyLink Field. Coming into this fucking game, boys and girls, Bruce Arians had a 4-1 record in CenturyLink Field against Pete Carroll. 4-1. He's good. Bruce Arians is good. This is why I never discount the guy. I'm like, this guy is going to use some black magic shit, and it's going to fucking work. And it did. I mean, by the start of the second quarter, Tampa Bay is leading 21-7. And you could feel the groan and moan of CenturyLink Field, like, oh my God, we got to do this shit again? We got to do this shit again? And kind of the more unfortunate part of that second quarter was Luke Wilson being out with an apparent injury, and I think they said rib. He did come back for a series in the third quarter or fourth quarter, but we didn't really see a lot of him, and we'll probably get updates throughout the week from Pete Carroll, probably today, post-game press conference. But Russ getting back-to-back sacks didn't help in the second quarter. Just having this Tampa Bay defense just be really physical on Seattle was a fucking problem. It was a fucking problem. And Tampa Bay caused so much fucking grief and trouble. And here's the thing. As much as fucking Seattle could have gotten more points on the board, like, Tampa Bay was just fucking, like, suppressing us. That's the word. They were suppressing us down. But when you have a guy like Russell Wilson, things tend to get done. Jacob Hollister, a guy from the New England Patriots practice squad that really didn't get a lot of looks even in New England, and then coming here, not a whole lot of talks, not a lot of hoopla about the guy, because we had Will Dissly, because Ed Dixon was going to come back off of IR, and then you had Luke Wilson coming back. There wasn't really a lot of talk about Jacob Hollister. But Jacob Hollister gets his first NFL touchdown with 29 seconds remaining in the second quarter. And of course, as we know, Seattle was going to get the ball back in the third quarter, in the second half. So that was huge. That was absolutely huge to get that touchdown. But what it was infuriating again was Jason Myers. First, he misses the field goal, which was about, 30... It was like 45, 47 yards earlier in that second quarter. But he misses the PAT, and the score is 21-13 in favor of Tampa Bay. This is where it just got immensely frustrating, where you're like, Russell is doing everything he could. Everything he could. And credit to our run game, too. Penny and CC doing things when they can. It was frustrating. It was. Not getting that PAT was just like that little cherry on top. But thankfully, before the fucking first half ends, and yes, Jameis Winston carving up our fucking defense, getting yards again, Gay actually misses a 50-yarder. So we go into halftime 21-13 down at home, not feeling all that great. Coming into the second half thinking, okay, cool, we're going to get the ball back. Let's see what happens. And opening drive on the second half didn't work out. Didn't work out so well. But Chris Carson making a 60-yard run set the stage for a wonderful pass from Russell Wilson to Tyler Lockett again. And it was a 2-point conversion that helped tie this game 21-21. And who else but DK Metcalf? This guy was a huge factor all game today. I mean, it's kind of a duh statement to say, oh, Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf were great. But these guys were, the goddamn wings to Russell's beautiful body flying over the air. And I know that's a weird way to fucking put it, but hey, that's how wide receivers do in this world, in Russell's world. And yeah, you have Tampa Bay, making ample amount of gains on yards because, again, our defense, just for whatever reason, just wanted to prolapse all fucking day today. Gay gets a fucking field goal. Now the score is 24-21, Tampa Bay leading again. At this point, boys and girls, you have to realize Seattle has not had a lead in this game. Period. They have not had a lead in this game. And so you end this third quarter thinking, all right, maybe, we'll figure this shit out, give the ball more to CC, burn out the clock and just masterfully maneuver this so we can grab a fucking late kind of walk-off win and sail off into the sun until Monday Night Football next week. But that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. What happens with Seattle, as usual, boys and girls, is great attempts, great gains, and then near the end zone, it's just a little bit too much getting in our own heads, not making the adequate points, just settling for field goals. And this happened on back-to-back occasions. A 37-yarder and 22-yarder by Myers. Hooray. You made field goals in the second half. Hooray. Isn't that great? And funny enough, Tampa Bay answers back. Gay field goal. And so now you got the game tied up 27-27. I'm visibly frustrated because just recalling how panic-inducing this fourth quarter was. It's not fun. It's not fun to recall shit like that. Oh, I remember just watching this game and freaking the fuck out thinking Russell might not do anything. But what Russell is able to do is just fun stuff. I know that sounds like a lame thing to say, but listen, when you're tied 27-27 with 5 minutes left on the clock, 5 minutes and 20 seconds to be precise, and you get Russell Wilson the ball, you know damn well what's happening. He just marches down the field. It's great reception by Tyler Lockett. It's great stuff by DK Metcalf. And granted, before the 27-27 tie, Chris Carson had a fumble, so there was that whole fucking thing. Our defense had, a great sack in Bobby Wagner. That was the whole thing. But those things actually never really affected the momentum of this game in totality. And really, it was this thing that really set it off, okay? 27-27, 5 minutes and 20 seconds, 5 minutes and 20 seconds left. Russ marches down the field. DK Metcalf gets a beautiful touchdown. The score is now 34-27. Seattle has ample opportunity to stop Tampa Bay, but marginal misses. Shaquille Griffin or Trey Flowers getting burned by Mike Evans or Godwin. It was kind of this formulaic way of realizing that, oh shit, we're going to tie this fucking game and probably go into overtime. I mean, the first half of that was right. Game got to 34-34. It's a rushing touchdown by Ogunbowale. Yeah, I butchered that name. I understand that. But the important part is Tampa Bay tied it. 34-34 with 46 seconds left. But hold up! You said 46 seconds left. Well, damn. 46 seconds for Russell Wilson is like an eternity. And it proved to be such. This guy just kept throwing the fucking ball, making right plays, and I think CC did have a slight run in there, but we get to a beautiful position. And when I say beautiful position on the field, I mean beautiful position, okay? This is a 40-yard field goal attempt position on the field, okay? That's how good this fucking field position was by Russell Wilson leading our boys down. And Jason Myers, 40-yard field goal attempt. What does he do? With 4 seconds left on the clock in the fourth quarter, he misses. Yeah, he misses. So now we're going into overtime. Hooray! At least we won the coin toss. And smartly, not stupidly, we say, hey, we'll take the field. We'll take the offense. Because you knew Russell Wilson had the juice flowing. You knew Russell Wilson wanted to get things going, no problem. And there were moments watching Russell Wilson go through overtime, just marching on down, there were moments of concern. When I thought, oh shit, he might get a sack here. Oh shit, receiver might drop this fucking ball here. Everyone just kind of did their thing. I mean, Malik Turner, DK Metcalf, Tyler Lockett, even David Moore. I mean, the distribution of reception wealth was immense, and it's always thanks to this man, Russell Wilson. And you were down in their goal line. And you have an opportunity to ice this game with a touchdown. It's done. Once it's a touchdown, it's done in overtime. Russell Wilson places a beautiful throw to Jacob Hollister to end the game 40-34. Now, boys and girls, I understand the way I took you through this game was kind of boring. It was. But the emotion you feel from just this immense relief of winning, it's indescribable. It was great. Witnessing an away win last week in Atlanta, cheering on the Seattle Seahawks with my fellow 12s, that was fun and all. But, I'm in the comfort of my home, smoking grass, screaming at the top of my voice, scaring my puppies. But winning just feels fucking good. The Seattle Seahawks have been 2-2 at home before this game. Now we are 3-2 at home, so hooray. Let's take that into stride. And here's the thing, man. I can absolutely just sit here and berate the Seattle play call, defense, Pete Carroll's incessant need to fucking challenge for pass interference whenever, wherever. But to be honest, man, I want to talk about some of the positive things that happened in this game. Starting with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jameis Winston. Let's talk about Jameis Winston here. 29 passes on 44 attempts, 335 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 unfortunate fumble late in the game. Yes, Jameis Winston did have a fumble in this game, but honestly, he looked so good out there today. He was probably the best I've seen him in a long time. And that may be a disservice to the Seattle defense, but give the guy some fucking credit. He did well today. And his weapons alongside him. I mean, you got Ronald Jones, 67 yards, 18 attempts, 1 touchdown. This guy was causing problems. Marginal gains of yards, but he was still causing problems on that Seattle defense. And if you're talking about problems on Seattle's defense, look no further than Mike Evans. Yes, Godwin was also a factor, but Mike Evans was a fucking nightmare. 180 yards, 12 receptions, 1 touchdown. This guy was a beast today. And again, I've been saying this, Tampa Bay played really well. I think in the first half, they may have gotten lucky with some of those looks that Winston was throwing. I mean, 1 or 2 of those could have been a turnover, but coulda, shoulda, woulda. They did great. It's just the latter half of this game, in the second half and in overtime, it just didn't work in their favor. It didn't. I mean, they tied the game and everything, but momentum, swung towards Seattle's way once, you head into overtime, win the coin toss, and you got Russell Wilson at the helm. And so let's talk about the Seattle Seahawks and the positives here. And, of course, you always start positives in Russell Wilson. I mean, they kind of go along, right? Russell Wilson. 29 passes on 43 attempts, 378 yards, 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, 0 fumbles, and a 21-yard run. And that one run was so clutch, so necessary for us to get going. And here he is, just saving Seattle each and every fucking week. And of course, I mean, we have our great weapons to talk about. Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf, both registering over 100 yards. Tyler Lockett, 152 yards, 13 receptions, 2 touchdowns, while DK Metcalf, a solid 123 yards, 6 receptions, and 1 touchdown. But guys like Jacob Hollister, not as many yards, 37 yards, 4 receptions, but those 2 touchdowns were so important, so clutch that they have to be mentioned, right? They absolutely have to be. And Chris Carson, despite the fumble, another 100-yard game for him. So on the offensive side, I thought Seattle did pretty well, right? I mean, if we're putting all these numbers into context, it translated into a win. Now, of course, there are so many fucking things wrong with this game. Of course there is. Like we mentioned it. The fucking, like, I don't know, the near, like, horniness of trying to call for a passer interference challenge, like, each and every fucking game. The need to just, I don't know, go conservative when you need to go aggressive. Like, I don't know, man. There are times I just feel with the Seattle Seahawks, they play more arrogantly than they ever need to. And it just kind of costs them. And you have to have this guy just saving your ass each and every fucking week. And thankfully he did that. Thankfully, I mean, we come out with the win. But the real concern now moving forward, boys and girls, is Monday Night Football. Yes, I mentioned it earlier. But guess who we're facing on Monday Night Football? The undefeated 8-0 San Francisco 49ers. You understand how irritating it is to say that shit? Oh, but you should respect all the fucking... I don't need to respect shit. Shut the fuck up. Everybody needs to shut the fuck up about that shit. Great. Good job, guys. Good job, 49ers. You're finally 8-0. I mean, you're finally accumulating the amount of wins you've accumulated the last 2 seasons or something. I don't fucking know. Don't really give a shit. Because to me, I don't care what the fans are saying. What I care about is what I'm seeing on the field from the 49ers. And god damn it, that shit is terrifying. If Seattle wants to play defense the way we've been doing these last few weeks, I think we're going to get manhandled by the 49ers, allowing 30-plus points like we did in this game. And I really don't know if the offense is going to be up to snuff against this very aggressive, very hard-hitting, solid defense in the 49ers squad. So something to look forward to, of course, something to look forward to. But this game was stress-inducing. Holy shit, man. I can't fucking believe we're still alive talking about this game. Just how crazy this shit was. But, hey, the important thing is Seattle gets a win. We're 7-2 now in the season. And, shit, man, we go into Monday Night Football. After that, it's a bye week. And then it's at Philadelphia, so it's only going to get harder. So, got to keep going, 12s. Got to keep going. Keep cheering our Seahawks. And so, I'll leave you with this. Go Hawks! Oh, follow me at the Sky Lounge on all the links in the description below, boys and girls. Like, comment, subscribe for more daily content. Now fuck off.